Yo, what's happening, everybody? How's it going? Just back with another little build video for Elderscrolls Online. This is my DK tank, what I've been using. We are missing some passives, but for the best part, I will run over the things what I'm missing during the video, and I'll explain what I am missing and how it will benefit once I have it. Obviously, I'm still leveling this character up. He's a newer character of mine. And yeah, this builds typically for dungeons and hard mode dungeons. You can run it in trials too. It will be classed as a main tank in trials. That also being said, um, for me personally, I don't do a lot of tanking trials. I'm normally a DPS or a healer for trials when I do trials. So yeah, um, we'll jump into it, shall we? As you can see, we're in six heavy, and we're in one medium. Um, Obviously, I am a Khajiit. Um, Typical races what normally people would choose when tanking would normally be like a Nord, Argonian, Dark Elf, Imperial, Orc. But obviously, I went with a Khajiit because I like to be a little bit different. But yeah, as you can see, we're in two-piece Arch Druid. So we got a heavy helmet on the vines for the Arch Druid, and we've got a medium shoulders on reinforced. This is just drop. I would probably recraft these again, and I'd probably put the reinforced on the heavy helm if I was doing traits correctly. Like I say, we are missing certain things, and you know, obviously I'll get them sorted around eventually. I just not got around to doing that. So what I would actually do is I would keep this set up with the six heavy, one medium, because you get more from it. That being said, um, I would put the reinforce on the helmet rather than it on the shoulders. That's the only difference. And then the shoulders would be divines. Moving on, as you can see, we're in 5-piece perfected pearlescent. This is a trial set from the Uh, Jesus, what is that trial called off the top of my head? I can't think right now because it's late and I'm tired. Dreadcell Reef, from Dreadcell Reef. So you can get this set from Dreadcell. If you can't do it on Veteran, don't worry. Don't do it on normal. The only difference is if you're looking at it right now, you can see that I gain 1,164 maximum health on the 5-piece trait line. You will not gain that for the normal set. That's the only difference. Okay. Um, Highly recommend getting this set. It's a phenomenal set. So as you can see, I got a chest piece on reinforced with trace that. I'm trace that out. I think. I don't know. I've got max health on my helm, stamina on my shoulders. But yeah, trace that on my chest on a reinforced. We've got a divine trace that on the hands. Got divine trace stat on the waist. We got a reinforced pair of legs on trace stat. I've got another tri stat with divine on my feet. And then we're gonna go for our second piece of a 5-piece set. This is the Crimson Oath set. Typically you don't need this on 2 bars. You could do this on your back bar, and you would be absolutely fine having this just on your back bar. Um, my issue is I've not got my sword and board passives and skill line up to where I'll need it to be for me to run my Vatran sword and board, because I'm actually going to be switching out for the Vatran sword and board um, when we get to that level. Um, Take note of that as well. But yeah, as you can see, we got 5-piece Crimson Oath. So obviously the rings, I go with Triune with the reduced prismatic cost of enchantment. So all my abilities cost less. I've got that on both of the rings and on the neck. And then obviously with the sword, I take charged with just an absorb magic enchant. And then I take divines on my shield with a trace stat. That's also going to play into our Stone here to give us more armor and more resistance as a tank. And then obviously with the ice staff on the back bar, I take infused with a reduced target's physical and spell resistance for the crusher enchant. And that's how I get my crusher enchant. As you can see, our attributes, I got 9 into mag, 45 into health, 10 into stamina. But that is typically because I'm a Khajiit. I have to build like this because of my race, right? So bear in mind, if you're a Nord or an Argonian, your attributes may vary and may change. So keep that into notification. You do want to try and aim for about 40k health. Most tanks normally aim for about 36k health, if I'm being totally honest. But if you're not typically too comfortable tanking, I would say try and aim for the 40k mark, and you'll be fine with that. And in terms of resistances, anywhere past 35k, you're at cap for resistance. So as you can see, we're pretty much at cap on our back bar. And then on our front bar, we're above cap. So let's jump into this. So as you can see, in terms of skills on my front bar, let's do it this way, easier. We're taking hardened armor. This is a skill from the Draconic Power skill line. We take hardened armor. We also take calculating blood, which is a huge heal. Plus it gives us additional health recovery by 30% for 20 seconds. So that is really, really nice. And it scales off of our missing health. So if we're at, say, 20% health and we hit this bad boy, we're going to get a really, really big burst heal because it scales from that. That's also in this skill line. Moving on to the Ardent Flame skill line. You want to take Noxious Breath. The reason why I take Noxious Breath over the other one, it really all depends what I'm doing. Like, obviously, if I'm like off tank, they want me to off tank and I use this guy, obviously certain situations, like you may want to go and like rechange that to the other one. It really all depends what you're doing, like in terms of like when you're trialing. Like you definitely cater to the group when you're in a trial. But like in dungeons, this would be fine, and it's actually helping the group out because it's giving everyone major breach, which is huge. So giving everyone major breach, plus you're darting them up with poison, really, really nice, really, really beneficial. You can also use razor caltrops for this. You just won't do the poison damage, but you will do like minimal physical damage. You'll also slow them with caltrops, and you'll still give them that major breach. But yeah, I just use this. It's just better for me. Pierce armor. This is our melee ranged taunt as a tank, and it also has major breach. So typically you don't even need this. I just use this for a bit of damage, really. As we get major breach from this anyway. You can also take the other morph if you didn't want to. You could also take Ransack on this build. If you were going to run Noxious Breath, you could run Ransack. Reason why is you will gain that minor protection. That will stack. So I just normally take this because this is a flex spot. So I normally just take this. Our last skill on our front bar is Stone Giant. This is from the Earth and Heart tree. What Stone Giant does is it crushes the ground beneath us. It deals physical damage to everyone within a 6-meter radius of us. The ground of the debris, what we broke, also stack around us and float around us for the 12 seconds. If I hit the buttons again, I deal damage, but we give everyone dagger. whenever we're using this. So it allows us to stagger the enemies, which is really, really nice. Obviously, Warhorn. When you get this one morphed, take aggressive Warhorn. You don't want sturdy. Sturdy's just kind of meh. You don't really need it. You want the critical damage for the group, for the major force. So you take aggressive Warhorn. As you can see, like I said, I'm missing certain passives. It is what it is. Move on to our bat bar. With the bat bar, I've got igneous weapons. This is giving myself and the group up to 4 players, I think. Is it up to 4? Or is that the whole group? I don't even know. Right. This one. Grouped allies. Okay, so it's. I don't think it's negated to 4 anymore. I think this goes to the whole entire trial. Now, I think they changed this. It used to only do 4. I don't know if it still does or not. Hold me accountable. But it will give the group extra weapon and spell damage by 20% for 1.2 minutes. So it's very, very nice to have, and it helps out the group a lot. Obviously, Blockade of Frost. This is giving us minor breach. Plus, it's also slowing our enemies down by 40%. And it's also giving myself and allies this little faint shield, which absorbs extra damage. Echo and Vigor, our third ability. This is just a little bit of an extra heal just to help the group out. Helps a healer out. It just helps everyone kind of stay alive a little bit better. As our main heal is this ability here, Calculating Blood. But obviously, we do throw this into a rotation when we need to. You know what I mean? Obviously, Unrelenting Grip. This just allows me when I'm farming and I get ads, I can literally just pull the ads to me. We can't pull any of these because they're too big. But as you can see, we can just pull them. Right? That brings them all next to me. And then our last one is Choke and Talons. As you can see, it just puts a talon on them, roots them in place. Very nice. Our back bar is Magma Shell. This will probably change. What I will probably do eventually is, and I'm probably going to keep it like this anyway. I would always put my Warhorn on my back bar. And then on my front bar, this will get changed when I get my passives up and my skill level up for my one-handed skill line tree. For my one-handed skill line tree, obviously I'm going to take Spell Wall. And I'll literally block all attacks at no cost. And I'll reflect every projectile cast for the next 6 seconds. I love this supercharge. But until then, I will run this. Magma is good too, because it will give nearby allies a shield too. But I do like my Spell Wall too. That's a flex spot, obviously. Another one what you could run would be Barrier. I don't have it because, like I say, I'm missing a lot of passives and stuff. We didn't take Sneak because I don't need Sneak. But yeah, that's pretty much the tank. The only thing what I'm missing for this is my other passives here. This ultimate, and we need Power Bash. Obviously, we would take Power Slam. You don't want to take Reverberating Bash. Take Power Slam. And then when that gets freed up and that becomes a thing for my front bar, I will most probably get rid of this and then put Power Slam here. And then what I will also do is put my Vatashran Sword and Board on. You can see charged and a Divine. And I'll put them in place here. And what that does is when I use that power bash with my shield, it literally grabs all the enemies around me within, I think it's a 12-meter radius. Let me see. Yeah, 12-meter radius. And it just pulls them all in. And then they're just all in. Right? So it's super, super handy for that. So yeah, that's the only thing what will probably change. But until then, I'm gonna rock what I'm rocking. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much what I'm rocking as a tank. In terms of my EP channel point, yeah, champion points. As you can see, blue tree, we got duelist rebuff. This reduces my damage by 6% with single target attacks. So if anyone's doing like if we get like a 2H NPC coming after us and he's trying to uppercut us with a dizzying swing, we're going to take 6% less damage from that. And then obviously I got bulwark. This plays in hand with our ice staff on our back bar. So while I'm on my back bar, or on my front bar, as it says, while you have a shield or a frost staff equipped, your spell and physical resistance is increased by 1900. So we're going to get this consistently. So it's a very nice buff to have. Reinforced, obviously when I'm bracing, I gain a damage shield, what absorbs 5,140 damage for 3 seconds. That can occur every 10 seconds. So that one's a bit of a flex spot. We can jump into what I would flex it out for. If I wasn't going to run reinforced, you could run unassailable. That will give you damage reduction from area attacks. If you didn't want to run that, you could run focus mending. That will give you 10% healing done just overall from single target healing. So that will mean that this ability will heal for more. As you can see, we're doing what? 7.8, 12.6. Okay. Now, if I take that one back out and then put back in a reinforce for now, and then we hit that again, 12.6, 7.8. So it's not really changing it too much because obviously I think it changes in combat. But yeah, as you can see, that's what I'm rocking. But if you didn't want to rock that, I would say unassailable, focus spending would be another good option. Cleanse and revival is always another solid option, as it's just a cleanse. Whenever you take so much stuff, it would just cleanse you. So that's really nice too. Moving on to the red tree, we've got fortified. This gives us an additional 1731 armor. Do it over here because it's a little bit better. Yeah, so that gives us additional 1731 armor. That's super nice to have. Obviously, buying us vitality, that gives us an actual additional 1400 max health. That helps too. Sustained by suffering. This is probably an almost must kind of have really thing for me as a player anyway, because I just love the recovery, what you get from this whenever you got pressure on you. It's just super, super nice. And then I take celerity for the 10% movement speed. That helps me just run around, get to adds a little bit quicker. As a tank, you kind of want to be there first, getting everything, pulling everything in, boom, Bob's your uncle, you're all good, right? Obviously, green tree doesn't really play into it too much, but we do take rationer for the extra 30 minutes on our food and drink. We've got the 20% movement speed when we're not in combat. We've got homemaker. What homemaker does is if I'm looting, say, like a chest of drawers, a cupboard, stuff like that, I have a 10% chance to get a second furnishing plan. And some of them furnishing plans really do sell. Especially if it's a brand new trial, new content, you can make some good money. Treasure hunter, obviously when we find chests, Helps us get better loot, better quality items. So yeah, I run that. But that is pretty much the build, guys. I hope you enjoy it. Go and try it out for yourself. Like I say, make a little note. You can keep Magma Shell. You don't really need to go with the sword and board ult. You know, obviously get these up. Obviously take reverberating. You don't want the reverb, but you want power slam. Take power slam when you get the power bash unlocked, and you can morph that. Take the other one. This is another ability what you may want to get if you're tanking trials, and if you're gonna take this, you want absorb missile, and that would literally be like for like Cloud Rest 3 and shit like that. But yeah, I would say that's pretty much it. Um, uh, if you're off tanking, obviously you want crush and shock for certain things. If you're gonna off tank too, that's another one what you might want to get. But yeah, as you can see, I'm missing a lot of passives, but we're working towards it. We're slowly getting it done. I do apologize for missing all the passives, but yeah, I tanked Oathsworn Veteran the other day, no problem. Got it done for some friends, and they were very happy that they finished their sticker books, and yeah, that was that. So have a good one. Take care. All the best. See you next time. Peace.